Yo, what's good? It's your boy King Haas. We live and direct, man. Live from Zone 6 Studios via 90.3 FM WHCR City College Radio. And you now tune into another episode of Late Night New York. I got my dude New York Fade in the building, formerly known as DJ Fade.
Correct.
And you got extensive history, man. We're gonna get into that, man. So, first and foremost, you a DJ, you a producer, you're an entrepreneur. Like you know what I mean? You're a jack of all trades, first and foremost, man.
Correct.
So, this is the 50-year anniversary of hip hop. So I want to get into the mixtape history as well as your own personal history.
Correct.
So you got a unique background, especially for a DJ. But when I mean unique background, your circumstances are a little different than the average DJs or what have you. So we're gonna get into that as well if you don't mind touching on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
first and foremost, man, welcome to the show, brother.
Appreciate you
And
for having me. Word.
Me and you go back about a good 10, 11 years at least. Like, man, you just,
Yeah.
I'll get into another time. It's a funny story how me and him first met, man. I thought you was trying to, we was dealing with the third party, and that third party had me thinking that you was trying to rob me.
Yeah.
And kind of find out that third party that I was dealing with was the one robbing me. And when I reached out to you, you ain't get mad. I came at you a little hostile.
Correct.
But you know what I mean? We had one conversation and straightened it all out. And from that time on, I knew you was a man of integrity. So we always did good business, and we developed the bond over the years, man. And it feel good that like even though me and you don't talk every day, I could reach out to you, man. You always sharing your knowledge and your understanding. So I appreciate you for that part.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why I'm here.
Now, let's get into the origin of you DJing.
Okay.
What was the inspiration for you, to DJ?
Back in the days, Video Music Box.
Shout out Uncle Ralph.
You saw the DJ. The DJ played a big part in the group. You know what I'm saying? You had Run DMC, of course, Jam Master Jay, rest in peace. Gangstar, DJ Premier. You had Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince.
Of course.
So just seeing it, I saw it, and then my brother came across some turntables. He was doing freestyle house, and I just started playing with the turntables, and it was just a talent that was just there. So just got into it, but that's really like what I was into. Like looked at it and admired that. You know what I'm saying?
So then, I'm assuming you started, doing local house parties around the way and situations like that, or?
Nah, well, I was younger, so my brother was always out. So when he had the turntables there, and he left, I would use them.
Got me.
So that was like my upgrade to after video games. So then I would try to like mimic what I was seeing on TV. So one of the things I used to look at was as I started growing was Def Comedy Jam. So when Kid Capri used to be at the end DJing, I used to get the records and try to do the same thing. I used to just try to do it exactly how he did it until I got my own, my own craft. I mean, my own, identity on what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go with it. You know what I'm saying? So,
You see, it's funny how every time I talk to every single DJ, one of the first DJs they mention is Kid Capri. Literally.
that's dope.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, okay, everybody has their own unique style when they, the way they blend, the way they, cut and do different things. So what separates you from everybody else?
Well, that I could do everything. So, all right. So what happens is I got probably like 5 influences. So, of course, Kid Capri, so he could rock a party. And then you got Ron G, who does blends. Rock Raider, may he rest in peace. He was a battle DJ. DJ Scratch also was dope. Jazzy Jeff and Jam Master Jay. So what happens is that for me, the way I see myself is that I got all of them in what I do. So how Rock Raider is a battle DJ, he'll use his body. I do that when I battle. But I didn't do what he did, I did it my own way. So Kid Capri rocks a party, I could rock a party. Ron G does blends, I do blends. So to this day, right now, I'm still using the turntables, but I'm not pressing the buttons. I'm actually picking up the needle. So even though it's easier to press the button, it's easier for me to pick up the needle. So what happens is everything comes back around.
Wow.
So pressing the buttons just looks super corny. And then it's not even that dope. So if I press the button, I'm gonna do something even more creative. And not trying to shit on, not trying to, downgrade anybody or play anybody. To each his own. That's what's gonna keep me separate because I'll have my own stage. See, what happens is I have control over my career, so I love my privacy. So that's why I'm in the cut. The last video I did or interview I did was with you. And how many years was that?
That was a couple years ago.
And then you go on my Instagram, and when you go on my Instagram and everything, you don't even see pictures of me. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm changing all that. Right now from this point on, I gotta go a different route.
You see, your name was like back then. Your name was like mythical because I say that because when I first heard about you was the 5-Star General mixtapes.
Correct. Yeah.
And for you youngins that's 21 and under, we didn't have no YouTube or nothing like that back then.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to listen to, let's say, a Eazy-E, Tupac, or Big, and you didn't have the original, CDs or tapes or whatever, you would get the 5-Star General mixtapes or whatever, where you could listen to Eazy-E, you could listen to Tupac, you could listen to Biggie, you could listen to all, different artists from back in the day that you wanted to hear those dope tracks from that you didn't have access to like you do now, where you go on YouTube and look up anything. Hell, you go look up stuff from Billie Holiday, you know what I'm saying? But at that time, man, I just kept on seeing these 5-Star General mixtapes or whatever, and it was all over the city. You see it in the Bronx, you see it in Harlem, you see it in Southside Jamaica, you will see it in Brooklyn. So I know I'm fast forwarding a little bit, and we're gonna go back some or whatever. But the mixtape game, what was the catalyst behind you getting in the mixtape game?
Oh, that was real difficult. I mean, I started doing the battles, and then
before you do that, for those who's not from New York City, explain to them what mixtapes are.
All right, mixtapes is just when you put. For me personally, mixtapes for me is what I wanted to listen to. That's basically what it was. I never catered to any fan or anybody in particular. What I did was what I wanted to listen to, because what I was doing was considered old school compared to what other people were playing. So everybody was playing all the new stuff. You see how you said 5-Star Generals, Eazy-E. We're talking about 2004, 5. Nobody cared about Eazy-E back then. Now people talking about Eazy-E. So I could come out with that. And I'm from the East Coast, but that's something I wanted to listen to. So I put Biggie, Pac, Pun, Big L, and Eazy-E. And I thought they was all 5-Star Generals. They all made the impact. So when I came up with that idea, that's just something I wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? So, getting in the game, there was so many dope mixtape people, so it was hard. So the blessing was me doing supposedly old school. I was able to continuously keep dropping, and it wasn't old; it became classic. So when you had the other mixtape DJs that was playing all the new current stuff, they wasn't taking my mixtape until maybe my 5th release, because I was dropping every week. And then they was like, all right, leave them here. And then after I left them, then that's how I gained momentum, and then I probably dropped for 2.5 years straight.
Every week.
Literally. Every weekend.
Every week. You know what I'm saying?
Religiously. So, word.
So it's kind of like, around this time, you got the DJ Cools of the world.
Correct.
You got K Slade.
Yeah,
you got,
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. You got Ron G. You got SNS. You got, it's like a crazy collective of mixtape DJs at that time.
Correct.
So it's kind of like you literally going against 50 to 100 other people.
And politics.
And the politics behind the scenes behind that.
Correct.
And still making an impact, and you always call yourself the one-man army. That's kind of true. You always been the one-man army. You always been on your own, doing your own thing or whatever. no holds barred or what have you. So it's just kind of like, it's dope. It's real ill how you was able to go ahead and make that impact.
Correct.
And basically, with nobody backing you.
Correct.
So
yeah.
it's kind of like, how, I mean, because not everybody going to go through that turmoil, man. So it's kind of like, explain for those who listen the ups and downs behind the DJ game. Mixtape, well, the music industry in general, as far as like, the pitfalls and certain things you're going to have to deal with. Certain things you don't mind sharing on camera.
Of course, I don't mind. I mean, because I want people to understand it's not that easy. Even when I got into to battling, I won all the battles that wasn't connected to politics.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So, and of course, it's depressing. It's depressing. It's stressful, discouraging. You want to quit. You want to walk away from it. But at the end of the day, it's just about being consistent, and then also knowing that you believe in what you're doing. You don't got to prove nobody wrong. You got to prove yourself right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just do what you need to do. But it's extremely hard. So I remember, like, at the time I had a manager, I'm like, yo, I'm like, oh, nah, they don't want my CDs, and many times I walked away from it. I mean, even today, to this day, like, you know how many jobs I try to get, like, from truck driver, bartender, not even try to get, like, just thinking like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do to make money. Because when you do something out of love and passion, and then there's money involved in all the snake shit, all the snake stuff that's happening, you don't want to be invested in that. So it's like you want to look for something that you work and then you get paid. You don't got to chase somebody down and kind of feel like you're going to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to chase a person down for your money, and you got to hear about his rent and his car note and his problem, and it got nothing to do with
you at all.
So when you work a regular job, you just work your hours and, whatever. But I'm back. I don't know what volume we did back in the days when you had the DVDs in front of you, but I'm like on volume 99 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man. Don't.
So it's like some way, somehow I still come back to it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm supposed to be doing it. That's what it means.
You see, like I remember, I think I told the story a few times, man. But I remember this chick I used to mess with or whatever her name's, whatever, her name don't matter, but she called me off from Jamaica Avenue one time, right?
Yeah,
this was years ago. Yeah. And she was telling me how, I seen, basically how she seen my name in the, with the mixtapes and the CDs or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember my oldest sister hitting me up. She was in Harlem one day. She was on St. Nick. And she called me like, yo, bro, they playing your song. I'm like, what?
I remember, yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So, and I remember my other boy out in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Telling me the same thing, saying that he seen, he seen me in the I don't know, it was Fulton Mall or something or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
It might have been Fulton Mall or whatever. So I just say that to say, man, that first of all, I gotta thank you because you helped put me out there as an artist at the time, and also it was just kind of like you was one of those people in a game full of snakes and full of vultures. You always said that you was gonna do what you gonna do, and you always stuck to it or whatever.
Correct.
And how is it, where it's like you have the integrity, and sometimes the integrity keeps you out of certain doors or what have you. So how do you maintain the balance where you still have the passion for the craft, but at the same time, you deal with not going off the deep end because the politics of this thing. Because some people might say that Fade, is a legendary name and he should be bigger than what he is, but
correct.
the but the politics kind of preventing you from getting to, where you rightly deserve to be, or because you didn't compromise your integrity.
I mean, everything is timing. I mean, yeah, I made a lot of, I wouldn't say mistakes, but I hurt my career certain ways where even if I look at it now and I'm like, all right, cool, I could have did this, I could have been here. I don't think it would have turned out good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for people who don't know my history, when we got in here, we was talking behind the scenes, and I was like, if I had to do everything the same, I have to keep me being locked up in there because of where I'm at today off of that. When I came home and then I still continued where I left off with battling and DJing because I was doing that before I got locked up. So what happens is once you know, where you stand in life and what you're trying to do, like you're gonna come across all these obstacles, and at the end of the day, it's just sometimes you just need to leave certain things alone and then come back to it, and then you'll see you didn't miss anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'd have got invested in the wrong people, the wrong deals, and I probably would have been locked up because
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I know me. I know like business is business, but then it's like, certain things you go word of mouth.
You know.
And then one thing with me is like I'll be like, all right, I'm not DJing no more, but then who do I hurt?
Yourself.
Hurt me. You know what I'm saying? My family. So you know what I'm saying?
See,
So,
I remember seeing you on Rap City.
correct.
You know what I'm saying? And now for those once again who are younger, go ahead and Google Rap City. You know, because if you was in my age group or whatever, when you was coming home from school or whatever, you wanted to rush home, get from school just to go ahead and watch Rap City and see your favorite rapper. So how did that situation come about?
So I dropped my R&B Situations Volume 2. That was the best of Mary J. Blige. So what happened was I had a dude, what was his name? D'Angelo Jones, if I'm not mistaken. And shout out to him. He had called me because my number was on a CD. So he called me. He like, yo, this such and such from BT. So I thought he was BSing. So I'm like, oh, all right, I'm going to call you back. Hung up. When I'm calling back, he picked up. This is such and such BT. So I said, oh, all right. He like, yo, I need to send you some papers for you to sign. We want you to be featured on Rap City. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I don't even think I was home that long. You know what I'm saying? And
You still had braids at the time, right?
I'm not even sure. I probably nah. I think I had like a mini fro or something at the time. So I sent it to him, and then I'm DJing. First appearance was with Styles P. And shout out to Styles P. And I think at one point I was like, because I'm a battle DJ, so I don't wear headphones. So I was like, this is the time when Sidekicks was out. Again, people not even gonna know what Sidekicks is.
Google it.
Yeah. So what happened was I was DJing, and then who was the host? I think Q45. And I'm like, yeah, I forgot my headphones, but it was a joke. And I'm getting all these emails like, yo, sorry to hear you forgot your headphones. And then I was like, it was a joke. So they loved me so much that they invited me again. I was there 4 times in 3 months. And not for nothing, the last time I was there with my cousin, and I had my own dressing room. So I was also, you know, this is, of course, only D'Angelo Jones could confirm this, but I was supposed to replace Q45. But I never wanted to because, again, I wasn't ready for that. I just still came home. I was more like, in hiding. Not like I was on the run, but I just didn't want to be.
You wasn't ready for that level of fame at
Yeah, I
that
was
time.
just in the privacy, keeping my privacy. So that goes into me saying hurting my career. So if I go back and change that, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd probably be maybe bigger, or maybe even locked up. So we don't, I'm just cool where I'm at right now.
Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
And no regrets at all.
None.
You know what I'm saying? Now I was listening to AJ Scratch one time, RP AJ Scratch, and he said there's a difference between a DJ and a record player.
Correct.
Nowadays, you got a lot of record players.
Correct.
It's not too many DJs. Why is it that it seems like the DJ doesn't get the proper respect that they should get now?
I mean, what happens is, everybody. That's why I don't listen to. When I did mixtapes, I didn't listen to mixtapes. So one time I went to PA. I think my boy was playing a mixtape, and the DJ was well established and known, and he's playing songs with other DJ drops on it. So then what happens is, it kind of alters what you're doing, because you're like, wait, I'm scratching, I'm doing blends, I'm doing all of this, and it takes me hours to do this, but I could do this, right? So it's the same thing with DJing. So I'm not gonna name no names, but I had one of the DJs that like was an influence to me. So I saw him live, and he had his coat on. He kept his coat on. He didn't do one scratch, not one. And I'm like, damn, like, so it's like certain people after a while, you just don't, you just there to get paid and leave. So as opposed to certain other people, you're there. Like with me, everything I do, sometimes I do too much. Somebody can ask for a custom, and then I'll scratch or I'll do something. They be like, I don't want that. And then I'll be like, you kidding me? Like, you know what I'm doing? Like, and then I'm like, but you know something? You didn't ask for that. You know what I'm saying? But somebody else would want that. Because I'm like, oh, this sounds kind of like, let me put this little, nah. So what happens is just people play music. Like all the DJs right now you have 3, 4 DJs, 5 DJs for the night. How you do that? Like one DJ come in and the other DJ come in and play the same music? Because he's not going to be there when you're there.
No, you know.
So it's like, that's just too much. Everything watered down now. You know, everything not the same.
Everything's watered down, and see, even with the artists don't understand the importance of the DJ. Without the DJ, you have no record. Period.
Well, today that changed though. Today now the DJ is not even important because now you got all the streaming services and how you know the YouTubes and all that. So the DJ is not like before. Yeah, TikTok and all. So the DJ is not important at all. You know, like because if the DJ is not playing the song, then he's not gonna get booked. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to play certain songs.
Yeah.
So it's like I could go to like I'll DJ a party and I'm into my 90s and 80s and 2000s. You know, like so I want to play that, but if you book me for a certain show, I know I can't play that. I gotta play, and I could do that. I got Latin trap, I got best of reggaeton, I got best of dancehall, so I know what to do. But now, if I wanted to do something that I wanted to do, it's not gonna be none of that. You get what I'm saying? And then if you don't have people on the floor, you're not gonna get booked. So you know you gotta play certain songs. That's why you hear the radio is like the same music all the time because it's like that's what they want to hear. They want to keep the listeners listening.
So before we sign out, I got 2 questions. Number 1, nowadays you see that you got AI now. You got you literally got rappers that aren't rappers. You got people who could pretend, with the voice of Jay-Z, they can use the voice of Jay-Z, the voice of Nas or whoever.
Okay, yeah.
And you know what I mean, do a song. You'll think it's Nas or Jay-Z. You're not realizing that's somebody else doing it.
Correct.
So, do you think artificial intelligence is hurting hip hop, or is going to help enhance what's going on with hip hop?
It's gonna hurt it because let's say, as we know what's going on with Kanye, right? So what happens if somebody wants to be malicious, right, and come up with a song or even sound like they arguing with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like now, it's like the samples, right? Like you could filter the bass, the drums, the acapella. It takes away from the what's the word, like
Authenticity?
yeah, like it takes away like just the original way of doing something. So yeah, I could have a beat and then have somebody sing and then they sound like Beyonce. That's it, pardon me, but it's corny. It's not, because again, the same way you're able to do a hit is the same way you could get somebody in trouble. You get what I'm saying? Because it could become a hit and it's not even a person. So then how do you even perform that? Somebody is gonna do a hit with that. But how do you perform it? Like, it's like, nah. Like with me, my thing is like similar to that is like my CDs getting bootlegged. That's dope because it means that you hold weight. You know what I'm saying? So I could drop something now and it get bootleg. Just because Fade is on there. But now imagine somebody gets my template and drops a CD with NY Fade on it, and it's not me. But then it's like it has some type of controversy on there. That's why I had to change my name from DJ Fade to NY Fade, because there's other DJ Fades, and one DJ Fade was just talking too reckless. And I'm not the one to back down. So now, like, let me disconnect myself, because everything that was coming from me, I was like, that's not me, that's Homeboy.
And you don't want, you
Yeah,
don't
but
want
then
to
some
put that
people weren't
category.
trying to hear it, like, oh, you just copping out. And I'm like, I'm not copping out. We can meet up. So then I'm like, all right, this is too much. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, it's just taken away from. It's like playing baseball, and it's like, yo, you get 10 free home runs.
Yeah.
Like it's like, like it's
It don't count. Yeah.
like not for nothing. But now baseball has a timer. So it's like you got to pitch at a certain time frame. So you pitching in like 30 seconds. So you're not able to think. You got to just pitch. That's going to be so much of a reckless
You know what I mean?
game.
It kills the organic
Exactly. So
of the of the game in general. You know.
correct.
So this last question, because we gonna tip on out of here. What do you see hip hop in the next 50 years?
Ooh, I don't even have an answer for that. I don't think there'll be DJs. if you ask me, like, because the DJ is a jukebox, right? So it's like, if you're a club and you have a dope system and you're able to pick the track, the playlist,
You don't need no DJ.
you got people coming there voting on their phone what they want to hear. I wouldn't be surprised at that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a TV and it's like, these are the songs available, vote.
Well, that's a dying breed.
Yeah, like it's not. I don't see nothing good coming out of it. It's gonna completely, because people morals and principles, like, and our dudes embracing snitches and all of that. Like, all the rules are broken.
Yeah,
now.
definitely.
People
Definitely.
beating up old people. Like before,
No integrity.
Yeah, like before, it's like we had grandparents, so we worshiped the 60, 70-year-old. Now they just doing reckless things to 60, 70-year-old that's harmless.
No morals, no nothing now.
No
man.
nothing. So 50
And
years from now,
that's a whole nother topic altogether. You know what I mean?
I know I won't be here, that's for sure, but I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing now,
It's preserved.
yeah, like I'm able to leave my mark. You get what I'm saying? And that's why from Mixtapes, I'm graduating to something else, but we'll have another interview on that.
Definitely. So, before we go, you just tell the people where to find you and tell the people all the projects that you got working on.
NY Fade, NY underscore FADE. Instagram, Twitter. Website is nyfade.com. The new videowave.com. Right now, trying to do production. Got over 300 beats in stock. I got 7 that I'm working on an album. So next time we talk again, not hopefully.
Well, next time
Well,
when you do
the
talk,
album I'm aiming for the album to be complete, but I know I'm going to have a single. Everything going to be independent. NYF music, that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, that's it, man. I appreciate you having me, like
I
always, man.
appreciate you
Shout out to
coming on.
Paparazzi over here in the
Shout
back.
out to Paparazzi TV, 90.3 FM, WHCR, City College Radio, late night New York. Man, we appreciate you for coming, man. We appreciate you for dropping these jewels. I also got a documentary I'm working on now, and you're gonna be on that documentary as well, man.
Appreciate you, word.
It's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of things moving, man. Y'all gonna get more material from us. Y'all gonna get more everything from us. And as soon as that album drop, he definitely gonna be back up here, man. So
Appreciate
salute to everybody. Salute to Paparazzi TV. Salute to my man New York Fade. It's King Haas, WHTR 90.3 FM, City College Radio. We out.